Group 1 at the T20 World Cup has suddenly become extremely interesting and all the more nerve-wracking, especially if you're an Indian cricket fan. All because West Indies decided to flex last night. Their brutal win over Zimbabwe has complicated India's path to the semi-final of the T20 World Cup. What can India take from the West Indies playbook and how does this group look now? What are the possibilities coming out of this? What the scenarios look like? Let's dive right in. And we'll simply have to begin with the story of the West Indies cricket team. Every time you think of not giving them due diligence, they somehow manage to prove you wrong. Again, a country that almost never makes it to prediction lists of any of the experts, and they did not this year either. And can you really blame anyone? This is the performance they were heading into the World Cup with. It's going to come on your screens. West Indies lost a T20 series to Afghanistan. Then they lost a T20 series to South Africa. That was right after. And they managed to just win one game in both those bilaterals. So it's the mercurial nature of this setup here, coupled with the format itself, that makes watching them all the more exciting. And last night was one of those times. Shimron Hetmyer gave everyone a masterclass on playing spin and playing some fearless cricket and in the subcontinent.
Not overthinking my batting. In the past, I used to overthink about plans, about getting out. Now I'm trying to think less and let the bat do the talking. Just react.
He completely took the game away from Zimbabwe, and that knock really set the tone for the entire encounter. There was no coming back from there. That chaos-inducing innings just sealed the deal for West Indies.
You can't talk about cricket without mentioning the West Indies. It brings a lot of history. I told the team, create your own piece of history. It feels like the same scenario 10 years ago when nobody gave us a chance. Despite many challenges, we are here at the World Cup and we believe we can make an impact and win.
Another country there with strong roots and influence here. So while West Indies made merry with that colossal win, India has been placed in a pressure cooker situation purely because of that. Here is how the teams in fact look after that game last night. It doesn't look good for India. West Indies sits on top there. Of course, it's not just about the points. It's also about that net run rate. West Indies tops it with that huge net run rate thanks to that margin of win and that staggering win that they had last night. South Africa number 2, again close enough. That net run rate thanks to that win they had against India. India and Zimbabwe rounding off that table here with net run rate in the negative. And that's where the worry really comes in for India, because they wouldn't want this to be a battle for the net run rates, because that's a huge climb up for them. So then they will have to back themselves hard and pray for certain other results to go their way. Now, before last night and after that shoddy loss in the opener Super 8 game to South Africa, they would have told themselves, we need to win the next 2. But now it's imperative that they do, and they have to win those comprehensively against Zimbabwe and against West Indies. Because the day they play Zimbabwe, South Africa plays West Indies a little earlier on. Now, India will be praying that South Africa manages to beat West Indies. Because the West Indies win, and if it is in a similar monstrous fashion like last night, will make India's route to the semi-final very, very difficult. India will have to hope that South Africa notches up a rather ordinary win. Nothing too brilliant, please, so that the net run rate also falls in check. And they have that extra room to breathe to push for that last 4 finish. Tall ask that, so maybe taking a leaf or two from the West Indies narrative will only help India. And while playing spin, and of course, playing spin the way Hetmyer has is certainly one thing to take note of. Maybe India just need to see West Indies to realize what it looks like when you're truly enjoying the game. Because here's a country that plays as if they have nothing to lose. They're fearless, no baggage, as they say themselves, and not worrying about the consequences of it all. It's that kind of cricket, inspirational cricket, that India has to show up with. Not the kind that comes with fear of the result, with fear of being in a home World Cup, fear of defending the title, playing in front of their own crowds. None of that will do. India has to remember what expressing themselves freely without these pressures really look like. Hetmyer says he has stopped overthinking, that he just lets the bat do all the talking, see the ball and play it on its merit. Now, this all sounds so very simple, but maybe that's what India really needs, the simple. Nothing complex, nothing over the top, just sound cricket with no frills and no fear. Can they really do that? Can they shut the noise, the expectations, the false pretenses, and shake off the defending champions tag and just play like a cricket team that is hungry to win? That's what the Indian city of Chennai will hope to witness when India takes on Zimbabwe come 26th.
Power doesn't end quietly. Some deaths are not accidents. They are messages. A gunshot, a crowd, a country frozen. The killer disappears. The questions don't. This is not just about who died. It's about what followed. Governments fell. Armies moved. History rewrote itself. 5 leaders. 5 moments. One pattern. The assassination.